Yeah. I know I'm a little bit late, man. I know I'm a little bit late. We're adjusting to the schedule, man. But we here. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Let's go. What the hell? How y'all doing out there, man? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I got what I think is gonna be a pretty fun show today, man. I'm excited. How y'all doing out there, man? How y'all doing? Welcome in, baby. It's already Wednesday, man. Sheesh, these days are flying. Some water. We'll get started, man. Welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, today we are doing something a little bit different today. If you didn't get a chance to see it, I had posted my takeaways from all of the conversations revolving around the WNBA and the finances, just based on, you know, some of my research and you know what my takeaway from the situation. So if you missed that the other day, please go check it out. I think we tried our best to lay out the entire picture to the best of our ability and try to clear up some misconceptions, and I think there's a lot of miscommunication, bad reporting by a lot of people, right? Misquoting these women and what they're asking for. So we laid a lot of that out. You know, the fact that the WNBA didn't make a like we tried our best to lay all of that out. So if you didn't get a chance, go check that out. But like I said, today we are going to have a little bit of a different episodes. The 2000s, the title's a little vague. I know we got Kobe and Tim Duncan there, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. Now, I keep waiting to see if there's gonna be some more breaking news. I keep waiting to see. But, you know, so many big moves have already been made in this offseason. I think what's really left is the guys that teams are trying to get for a cheaper price for whatever reason, is what I think is happening. Let's see who's left in free agency. Bro, this is the 7th. What the fuck? 19 hours ago. Biggs, Al Horford, Chris Boucher, Trey Lyles, Thomas Bryant, Precious Achua, Russell Westbrook is still available. Malcolm Brogdon, Ben Simmons, campaign is also I believe from this report is also still available. Monte Morris, Malik Beasley, but he has his situation going on. Gary Payton II, who we were talking about the other day, Amir Kofi, Alec Burks, Seth Curry. So there's still, you know, a few names lingering out there that could get picked up before the year starts. We'll see what happens. Honestly, the names I would be looking out for: Al Horford, if he decides to continue playing; Gary Payton II; I don't want to say Ben Simmons. Like, I'm just being honest. That dude has I keep thinking he's gonna pull through for us, but he never does. And Russell Westbrook would be my biggest names to look out for moving forward. But I think, Al Horford, it's age. Russell Westbrook, it's play style, and really, I think it was fine last year. It's not even a Russell Westbrook issue, I don't think. But I think teams fear the gravity that surrounds Russell Westbrook. Right? I think some teams are worried because, having him come off the bench, he's going to demand not literally demand, but his play style and his play and production will demand more minutes, and there's gonna be guys that are gonna be upset at that. It's gonna be a weird spot. So Russell Westbrook, it feels like it needs to be the right situation for Russell Westbrook to be in. As soon as that Kuminga situation resolves, signings will happen. Hello, Bruce, how you doing? Damn, ain't no way I'm gonna be number one. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see, man. Let's see. I think I got a fun show. If y'all are able to stick around today, but I think I got a pretty fun show. We'll get into a lot of conversations. First, I don't know if y'all saw. I was in the middle of watching Lance Stevenson on Carmelo Anthony's podcast, and I just think moves have been made already. Both him and Kuminga are highly desirable. Yeah, but I think teams, because of the reports, if you're a team looking at Jonathan Kuminga, right, you would want to get him for as cheap as you can possibly get. For Russell Westbrook as well, too. Because if you're going to deal with some of the extra stuff, you would want to at least look at the salary and it's not that bad. We ain't paying him that much. What trades could the Lakers make for a Kuminga sign and trade for Maxey? I don't know about that, man. The Lakers, I feel like I'm telling you, man, I'm really hoping that the Lakers have a shit team so Luka could go crazy. I'm hoping the Lakers are shit and he puts up 40. Selfishly, I'm telling you, that's what I've been saying from the beginning. He's been quiet. He in shape. Selfishly, I hope they don't make no moves. I hope this team is garbage. I hope LeBron see what happened and say, I'm out. I'm retiring. I'm out of here. Y'all doing some bullshit. Luka's sitting there by himself like Will Smith, Fresh Prince, and says, I gotta go crazy. That's what I hope happens. That's what I hope happens at least. But like I said, I was watching this Lance Stevenson. If Lakers and Celtics are bad, I don't think Celtics. The Celtics could be all right. They could do well enough so it doesn't look terrible. But think about it. Even if the Lakers are bad, but Luka's averaging 40, there's still gonna be all headlines everywhere. So I think no matter what, I think we're in for another good year. Last year I thought was good and it was a lot of fun, but I think we're in for another good year. Look at who's number one. All right, but let's take a look at this. I have a couple of clips that we're gonna look at, and we'll talk about them. We got about 3 clips that we're gonna look at through this. Through this Lance Stevenson, Carmelo Anthony conversation. Let's take a look.
In the entire career, because when he signed to the Hornets, Michael Jordan said he signed you because of that energy, the energy that you brought to the team. And,
they definitely could be better than what people think. Facts.
He always said he was willing to challenge LeBron. Obviously, the blowing in the ear thing went viral when he was on the Miami Heat. How would you describe your connection to MJ during that run? Obviously, he as great as he is, he played hard every single game. You know what I mean? And he probably saw that same hard play in you. So, in addition to that, what was your relationship like playing for Mike?
I'm not gonna lie. When I told you, like, that's the only year, like, I regret. I felt like I didn't use all the tools that I had around me at that moment to be the best player I could be, because I had Michael Jordan right there. And I didn't go to him. I never went to him and, yo, can you help me with this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Do that. I told you, I got paid.
Right.
And I'm telling you, like,
it wasn't even
like
a New York
like that hunger, like, kind of, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of dumbed down a little bit.
Oh, wow.
And I felt like, at that moment, I felt like I should have went to MJ, tell him to, yo, meet me in the gym. All the stuff that, after I left, I was like, damn, why I ain't do that?
Damn.
So I told you, that's the only year I regret. Like, I didn't really get to build that relationship with MJ.
Did he want that? Did he want it?
I think he wanted me to come to, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's MJ. He MJ.
Yeah, he MJ.
MJ.
I ain't going no motherfucker. I was so, you know, I ain't gonna say I was feeling myself, like, you know what I mean? But I felt like he should have came to me, and he probably felt like, yo, you should have came, like, you
signed me.
Yeah, that's why. But I regret that. I felt like I should have came to him, like, yo, cause that's MJ.
Yeah, yeah.
I still wear his shoes to this day, like, every day, right?
Unplug and unlock.
I think this is a really great conversation that we can have off this. And it's so funny that it's Lance Stevenson is the messenger.
Yeah, I felt like I should have went to yo, help me with this. Like, what did you do? Like, how can I better my game?
But that could be a double-edged sword,
I didn't
though.
do none of that.
Damn. I mean, that's got to be a double-edged sword, though, because at the same time, one would think, like, yeah, you would want to get the oyster of knowledge that he could bring, but at the same time, like, he casts a large shadow. You know what I mean? That's still the logo, not the logo, but, like, that's Michael Jordan, man. Like, he's more than, yeah.
Right, and I think the intimidation factor.
Wait,
of,
is it this part?
Damn. I don't want to call MJ. Like,
yeah,
he got so much. He got so much. I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong. I'm just saying the idea of that. I'm not calling you. If you want to get better, you come talk to me, and I'm going to make myself available to you. But if you don't want it, then that's on you. But it's here, and that approach right there, players don't understand that part of it. Instead of just saying, "Fuck this," this is my owner. He brought me in here. Man, shit, I'm going to MJ. What's up? We going to practice? Come on, MJ, let me talk to me. Let's watch film. It takes a certain personality and player with a mindset to approach it that way. Most people will shy away from it.
That's real shit.
So what was your last comment?
So what are y'all talking about over here? You are number one. The Celtics may have one of the best systems in the league. People could come in and out while they maintain a level of excellence. I don't know if but I think especially the Celtics system right now, it's really plug and play, the way they're shooting a whole bunch of threes. So that's your crap, big dog. I'm weak. But I think this Lance Stevenson, Carmelo Anthony conversation was really cool to watch, right? It was really cool on one end to see and hear Lance Stevenson talk about that moment, right? Lance Stevenson, from the outside looking in, has always looked like the most confident person on earth. And to hear him say he regrets not tapping into himself more, right? He was kind of feeling himself. He got paid and he was kind of feeling himself. You know, they had their success in Indy, but didn't take advantage of the opportunity that was there, right? And, you know, some people will look at him saying, oh, I felt like he should have came and spoke to me. And it's easy to dismiss that way of thinking, right? It's very easy, but we're not the guy that just got paid X amount of dollars in this contract and they said, we want you here, right? He's clearly had time to reflect and think on it and has had you know, a change in his mindset, but I don't think you could easily dismiss that. And then the other part in it too, right? I think this is the human aspect of this. Sometimes we're scared to go and ask questions. Sometimes we're scared to go ask for help. I mean, we could, as men, right? That's something that a lot of us struggle with, right? We struggle to ask for help even when we need it. We struggle to ask questions even when we need the answers. We'll try to do things ourselves even if we should be asking somebody else to do it, right? That's something that we struggle with as men, and I think, you know, we have to learn, right? And the ones that learn and the ones that have that personality type to constantly seek information and seek help, right? If you guys remember the way Kobe talks about MJ, the way he would call him and ask questions, and he went up to, let me see this. It was that All-Star game where they were having a conversation, their first one, and I'm trying to find it. And went up to him and asked him how he let's see. Trying to find it. Is it this one? I don't think it's this one. Oop, didn't expect to be clocked today. That sounded like a part of my flight training. I'm weak. Let's see what they say in this.
The matter is, I mean, he's helped me out a great deal. I asked him for advice. He'd give me advice straight from his heart.
I've always been, you know, like a big brother and you like a little brother.
Vintage Kobe, vintage Michael Jordan.
Turnaround, fadeaway jumper. Good.
That relationship has meant everything to me. When I grew up watching Michael play, my generation, you know, saw the highlights and they saw a lot of the fancy stuff. What I saw was his footwork. I saw the spacing, I saw the timing, I saw the fundamentals of the game.
He certainly has a lot of skills, and you see that, and he's got a lot of confidence.
You got the teacher versus the student.
He asked me one question when we went down to half court.
Was he willing to give you any advice or give you any secrets?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
He did.
He wanted to know how, when I turn around on my jump shot, how to feel the defense. I told him you should feel the defense with your legs.
That part right there, that was the first rookie game, and during the game, Kobe is asking him about his turnaround, right? The complete opposite of this Lance Stevenson situation, right? And this isn't to knock Lance Stevenson. I think this is a great learning point. I'm sure other parts of this podcast went viral, but when it comes to the next generation of players coming up, it's these stories that I think that are really important, right? To have confidence, but to also have humility, right? To seek information. Kobe didn't become who he was, who he is, just by himself, right? And it wasn't just, oh, I'm trying to chase Michael Jordan. No, I'm trying to chase him, but he's giving me information on how to chase him. He's adding to the tools in my bag so I can build my statue as high as his. And I think it's this dual it's this dynamic from both sides where the younger generation either is shy or they feel like I'm trying to be above them, so I can't go ask them for help. But the reality is, them asking the older guys, the vets, for help, in a lot of ways, to these vets, to these legends, solidifies who they are. Right? It gasses them up when you go and reach out to them. How do you do this? Can I work out with you? What da 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 da. And I think this is a really great learning curve, a big learning curve that a lot of players can learn from. And I you know, it's funny because we look at Lance Stevenson as this goofy, like that's how we look at Lance Stevenson, right? This goofy, he don't take it seriously, super talented, coulda, shoulda, woulda, when we see his you know, his how talented he is. But I think this is really valuable information, and like I said, to have the self-awareness in yourself, right? He talked about leaving that situation. He's like, fuck. He's like, I could have done this differently, right? I could have tried to be my best, right? This person, that was already the extension, right? Michael Jordan already said, like, I like your energy, I want you here. And he just, you know, he just didn't take advantage of it, right? He got caught up in that NBA lifestyle, right? Which a lot of players do. So again, I don't want to knock him for that because a lot of players fall for that. But again, I think it's a story that should be told. It's information that I think a lot of these new guys need to have, because I think it'll make a lot of people a lot better. And that, you know, the fuck the 90s stuff, right? That narrative that was going around, it bridges that gap, right? These older legends who don't feel appreciated, if some of these guys start reaching out for advice, for, hey, what did you do when you were, you know, preparing for your championship? What was your thought process when you was going against so-and-so? How did you da-da-da-da-da? That level of appreciation from that one conversation will do a lot. And I think it'll help in bridging this gap between the older generation and the newer generation. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. Let's take a listen to this other part too. It's more funny than anything, but let's take a listen to this.
That, like, a lot of people, as you know, as accomplished and as long as the career you had, a lot of people just remember you blowing in this man's ear.
Yo, nah, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I regret it sometimes.
You regret it?
Because I ain't gonna lie, I was at a club, right?
Okay.
So I came in the club late. I ain't want to get no section and nothing. I ain't wasting no money. So I go to the bar. I'm standing in the bar. Some drunk dude coming.
Hello, Dallas. Are you looking for an investment in Dubai where you pay no tax?
We're not looking for an investment in Dubai. Are we bugging?
I'm like, yo, you crazy, boy?
Hey, yo.
That's how LeBron felt. How you like that? I was about to go ham.
I was in jail that night.
Yo, I was in jail with Jordan.
That was crazy.
That's a hard spit flow.
In the club too. Like, it had to be like, it wasn't no gentle.
I was about to go crazy. I'm like, yo, you crazy, boy? That's how LeBron felt. How you like that? How do you like that?
How do you like that?
Yo, bro, I was about to go crazy on this guy.
Oh, man.
I'm going to jail, champ.
I'm going to jail. It's crazy.
Courage. You know what I'm
You at the
saying?
bar, so he felt like this like gym pop over here. Like,
Like, this is my moment. This is my
do
moment.
anything over here, champ.
I was like, this is the last time I get to the club late, yo. I'm getting this section. I ain't doing that shit ever again. But
You're three.
Yo, I mean, That's forever in NBA. That's like that's damn near a legendary moment in the NBA, right? Like that's that's forever in the NBA. So you can't take that part away, in my opinion. You can't. You can't. People are commenting on this. What I commented on. People are responding to this thing. We'll go back. We'll go back and forth with them. But I personally love that Lance Stevenson blowing in LeBron's ear. Let's take a look at this. This guy's a legend, bro.
Indiana Pacers,
absolute legend. Legend in the game.
Indiana Pacers, including this, blowing in the ear of LeBron James. And James' reaction, he can't believe.
You can tell there is nothing going on in his brain right there. He is blacked out. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on in that noggin right there. Let's reply to these guys. Let's see. I'm replying to these fools in these YouTube comments. I'm a comment warrior. All right, sorry guys. All right, I'm just replying to these fools. But yeah, that was a great moment for Lance.
Indiana Pacers, including this.
That's fucking mad loud in my ear. All right, let's see. Actually, before we move on, why don't we run through the let's see. What year did Dwyane Wade get his scoring title? That was in 08, 2009. Let's see. All right, because we're gonna talk about that in just 1 second. I did want to look through the NBA subreddit to see if there's anything here that we could talk about. Let's take a look at this. Covington, sorry. What is the point of this? In the beginning of the 2018-19 season, the Timberwolves rejected the Rockets' offer of 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler. Instead, they accepted Covington, Saric, Bayless, and a second. The Wolves then traded Covington, Knicks Knicks first round, Jaden McDaniels, Ricky Rubio. And like 1/3 of Gobert. Bro, that was the longest shit to read for no reason. How about a market change in coming years? Getting paid to not work sounds like the absolute dream. That's how I use it. MVP, all NBA voting. Bird belt holders. What the hell? A bird belt holder. What is this? That's crazy. Trying to take it is crazy. Bro, stealing his shit like that is crazy. Bro, he's sniffing it though. Can I smell it? Wait, did she just? Oh my god. Oh hell no. What the fuck are we doing? See, some fans be fucking wildin'. Low light, the one night Kobe wouldn't shoot. What is good with all these Kobe like little topics recently, man? Aging stars. I mean, I guess. Let's take a look at this. Has trading, building a core of aging stars ever worked and won a championship like Nash, Kobe, Dwight, or the 2013 Nets team? If not, which team that attempted it got the closest? And Brooke Lopez, I feel like Milton had tried. I'm curious what team has gotten close. See, but and this is what we're gonna talk about. You gotta put a threshold. What is defined as aging? Because then people just start putting like numbers out there, 30, 31, 32. Like those years, if you look at what is considered a man's prime physical years, 20s and 30s. I've heard like in the UFC, because it's the balance of not just the physical fitness, but also, the experience and the knowledge. So, 30, 31, 32, those are still good years for a lot of people. But it's still great though. MVP level. So what do you, MVP level, part of a super team where you had other teams to share the ball with. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, there needs to be a threshold. Pookie was good. Derpy was good. We're just sifting through Reddit, see what we can see over here. He said, my bad. Shit, my bad. I really wanted the smoke, but then I saw you. Oh, the fear in his eye. He said, oh, I thought you were someone else. Oh, my glorious king. How you doing? Let's see. I don't think there's... Actually, this might be the perfect segue for us.
Played against Cole. We talking, all of us gonna talk.
Why are we talking basketball though? It's baseball and football season soon. I mean, I'm basketball out. This is my sport.
Top 3.
Facts.
Like we all gonna talk 3 if you played against Mamba. But from someone's opinion that's never played against Kobe, have never played a game of basketball at the level that we played at, having them at 11, why am I up in arms about something like that? I remember when Kobe was alive. They had rankings when he played in the league and they had him low. I remember one year and Kobe addressed it. Like, who is these idiots? Like, why would I listen to these idiots? And I'm not calling the person who did this an idiot, but what I'm saying is when someone does something like that, Kobe was like, this is idiotic to me. If you want to ask us hoopers.
So they are idiots. so what I hear you say is they are idiots. Let's see, where is this other? Here you go. No. Oh, I didn't even pull it up yet. Here, actually. So I think it's here. What y'all think about what Dwyane Wade has to say over here? Let's take a listen to this.
Hey, Melo.
You gotta wait your turn. Nah, this is my shit.
He ain't gonna say it.
Melo broke down my game better than anybody has ever broken down my game right here on 7 p.m. Me and my guys watched it, and I had to run it back because I was like, no one has ever really. They don't understand my game, right? Like you don't know what I did. Right. I did so many different things, and I played so many different roles, and so that's one of the reasons why I'm not the greatest shooter of all time. I'm not the greatest this, but I was great at so many different things. And Melo talked about it. Then I learned how to be great at being a role player. Then I learned how to be, and so I learned how to be great at all these things. And no one knows how to really break down my game. So they look over it and they just go to, 1 or 2 things. But
it's
I did
not
so
October,
many
gang.
things
I'm aware.
in the game of basketball. So yeah, I mean, when I had it. I thought I was gonna be before injuries. I'm like, MJ, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's my mentality.
I know the mentality. So I like when he talked this shit.
Yeah, I thought I was
talk
coming for
this
MJ. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be the greatest.
Hey man, this.
Turn your best idea.
Because I figured it out very early in the league.
Right.
In my second year, I knew I was like, oh. No, matter of fact, at the end of my rookie year in the playoffs versus the Pacers, when Ron Artest, shout out to Ron Artest, shout out to Meta World, he couldn't guard me.
Queensbridge.
And I was like, ooh, he's the best defender in the league.
Yeah. And I'm cooking.
But I was faster than him. He was stronger than me, but I was so quick and I was strong. And so I was like, oh, Ron can't stop me. Everybody in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
So that was before the injury started piling up.
That's inevitable. Life.
And listen, I think some people will just immediately kill Dwyane Wade. Right. It's so easy to go straight to the, oh, he out of pocket. Oh, he gassing himself too much, and it's so easy, right? It's so easy to do, but when you're talking early in Dwyane Wade's career, right? 23 to 27-year-old Dwyane Wade was 26.8 a game, 7.1 assists, 5 rebounds, 1.9 steals, and a block a game. From 23 to 27, and that included the championship with Shaq, where he got Finals MVP. He was a how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-time All-Star in that stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4-time All-NBA team. And so, you know, Dwyane Wade was a problem, and to his point, he was extremely fast. Right, extremely fast, and for his size at 6'4", he was strong, right? And I guess very similar to Michael Jordan, couldn't really shoot when he came in the NBA. He couldn't really shoot. You know, a big part of why they won that championship, right, with Shaq, was because his mid-range really turned around. But he was really a get to the rim type of player. He was a problem. Yeah, he really was. You know, the year after he got those injuries, right? Because it was in 2006, 7, 2007, 8 where he had injuries, right? 2005, 6 was their championship, right? It was their championship. But 2006, 7, right? 2006, 7, 2007, 8. That's when he had injuries. 51 games in each of those seasons. When he was healthy going into 2008, 2009, he was third in MVP, third in Defensive Player of the Year voting, All NBA first team, All Defensive second team, All Star, and scoring title at 30.2 points per game. Right? So I don't want to just gloss over how good Dwyane Wade really was. And let's take a look at it. I think sometimes we forget. So I think it's important to always look back just so we could see this. So let's take a look at this guy.
Outside the arc. Wade kicks it into another gear. He explodes to the rim and rolls it in. Dwyane Wade, who averages nearly 22 shots.
Said that it was off of Brian Cardinal. It was off of actually Beasley last.
Wade with the
I mean, look at this guy, bro. This guy is all over the fucking...
Timberwolves still a double-digit lead over Miami. Wade kicks it all the way and throws it down. And Dwyane Wade,
this guy
was
is
like
a problem.
Everyone else was stuck in the mud.
An absolute problem.
Slow motion.
Holmes that goes down and sets that screen on Al. Mike Miller that time set the screen on Al. Just moves right to that open spot.
Dwyane Wade floats it home.
Wade at the other end. Rose is on. Chalmers got a couple of great matchups in the backcourt.
I mean, this guy was just unbelievable, man. This guy was
best
really
job
good.
at doing this on the hedge or lack thereof by Aaron Gray. Goes right around that screen, make that shot.
Small lineup right now. Nocioni at the 4. Tabo Cephalosha.
I've been really. I guess I just really miss basketball right now, but I've been really loving watching these old clips because these guys, I think sometimes we just forget how good these guys really were.
Change of pace, the hesitation,
and it's always good to get a little bit of a reminder, man. These guys were before injuries. I guess when before they really piled on, right? This guy was a real problem. And like I said, I want to give Dwyane Wade his credit, right? He is still an all-time great and would have been much higher had he been healthy for most of his career, right? That obviously impacted him, and having LeBron join and get those championships really helps his career as well too, right? Those accolades for sure helped, and he was still a big contributor. When people talk about Michael Jordan, right? People think of those championship years, right? Championship Michael Jordan. So 90, 91, You know, the from the 90-91 to the 1993 seasons, right? That was 31.4 points per game, 5.7 assists, 6.4 rebounds, 2.6 steals a game, right? Through those years, right? Or, you know, what's probably more prevalent in people's minds are, you know, the 96 to 98 seasons, right? 29.6 a game, 6.1 rebounds, 4.5 what was this? 4.5 rebounds, 6.1 rebounds, 4 assists. Sorry, I get misreading that. You know, that is what a lot of people think about, right? Because the reality is, this is just the absolute fucking truth. The Michael Jordan in 1986-87, 23, 24, 25, 26, that guy before the championships. People don't even know what to do with that motherfucker. like, and this is like I said, we're not trying to discredit Dwyane Wade at all, right? Dwyane Wade is one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and like I said, would have been much higher had he been healthy, right? You gotta have the mindset that you gotta chase these greats. We just sometimes forget this Michael Jordan.
Double clutching, and he has 10.
Sometimes we just got to go back and look, man. Sometimes we just got to go back and just take a look.
From out that far to the basket with no one else picking him up. So Whitman on Michael Jordan. Now you're going to see Tree Rollins come out, but he still gives the baseline.
Bulls come back with 10.5 left in the half. Jordan on the fly.
I mean, this guy was just...
His first field goal, Michael Jordan with 4. Automatic. 21 points for him. Low right, Jordan. Michael across the lane.
What would you do with this? He's going 1-on-5. Look at the whole fucking team.
Michael Jordan just went by. Oakley dribbles near the top of the key, dishes
I
on the
mean,
baseline to Jordan.
I mean,
hit it off the window. What a shot!
Side, packs it on the
no, we've never seen this. We still haven't seen this.
Jordan drives,
I mean, like, bro, this guy is literally going 1-on-5. They know he going 1-on-5, and they still can't stop him.
Foul called in this game. Here's Jordan, baseline right with a fake, in deep, scoops it, good foul.
You know, we just gotta highlight. We just gotta be clear. And granted, you know, I believe Dwyane Wade said there he's chasing Mike's greatness, right? His overall. And even though Dwyane Wade was very athletic, he was super fast. His nickname was the Flash for a reason, right? But Michael Jordan at 6'6" compared to 6'4", 6'3" Dwyane Wade, you know, it's just. That Michael Jordan, he's just a totally different beast. A totally different beast, man. A totally different beast. So, shout out to those guys, man. Some of the greatest shooting guards that we have ever seen. And probably some of the greatest we will ever see, right? Just the reality of it. But I do like some of these guys talking up for themselves, because somebody got to do it, right? Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. You can't always just wait for somebody else to, you know, talk about your greatness, right? Sometimes if you wait for that, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Now, let's see, what is this?
I will tell you though.
Oh, let's take a look at this. I saw this morning, actually, too, yeah.
After I got hurt, I was on the ground. I was like, let me walk. Kobe walked. I'm walking. So when I got up and went to take a step, there was no...
Help me!
There was no chance.
I'm not doing it.
I was like, don't touch me. I'm going to walk. And when I went to move my leg, it's like dead weight on the end of your leg. So it's like the fact that Kobe shot a free throw and walked off is unbelievable.
That's that Mamba mentality.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a book, a movie, a whole thing.
And certain guys have, walked off. When I went to take a step, that's when the guys threw the towel over me because my face was just like, I couldn't believe what was actually happening in the moment.
I mean, obviously not great at the moment in the situation, but the thought of you running through your head, what would Kobe do? Kobe did actually walk off this thing. Don't touch me. Touch me.
There's no.
I saw one guy say in these comments, in one of the comments where I saw this on, these men don't think for themselves. You're in there thinking about another person in your moment, right? Kobe did the same thing. Like, a lot of why Kobe did the things that he did was because of Michael Jordan. And yes, to you it might sound weird or cringy, but the value and what some of these players meant to these guys is what got them to the NBA. Or I don't want to say it's the only thing that got them, but it's part of what got them to the NBA. So, yes, it could be cringy. Yes, the shit that Jason Tatum did with, remixing everybody's thing. Yes. But those things are what helped fuel these guys to reach the heights that they have reached. And who's to say that your favorite player back then didn't have the same moment in certain situations? Because we don't know that. And when it comes to Kobe, the amount of credit he gave to Michael Jordan, he literally copied his mannerisms. Like let's just call things what they are, right? I think some of these men in these comments are so fragile, right? That someone else's reaction to something gets you upset to the point where you comment, but you want to call the other person fragile. Right? Right? It's never just like a normal back and forth. But that's how that typically goes. But I saw that in a lot of I saw that in the comments, and I just thought it was a little bit weird. But yeah, man, let's but yeah, let's move it right along. I don't think there's anything really left on Reddit right now. Oh, what the fuck? Did I just hear my phone? Let's see. Let's see. I don't think I need this. I already took that out. Boom. Okay, cool. All right. No, don't need that. All right. Perfect. Oh, let me actually pull up. Here. So, everyone has been doing these all decade lists recently, right? From all of these podcasts, they're doing these all decade lists, right? These top 10 lists for the decade. And I think it's a great idea, right? I think it's a great idea, but I want us to do it a little bit differently, right? So this is how I want us to do this, right? We could just start throwing names out there. I have a couple of names that I've already, looked through and whatnot. But let's be responsible, right? Maybe I should pull up a Word document or something. Maybe here, I'll pull up a Word document. I got you. Let's be responsible, right? And let's create a criteria, right? What is our criteria in ranking these players? And instead of a top 10, let's do a top 12, and we'll talk about why a little bit later. But so let's do a all decade ranking, right? So 2000s. And so let's define what that is. And the way a decade in the NBA has always been defined, right? Because it goes in between 2 years. The decade for the 2000s is 1999 to 2000 would be the first, to the 2008 2009 through the 2008-2009 season, right? So 1999 to 2000, and through the 2008-2009 seasons, right? So that is our first parameter, right? So that is what we will define as a decade. The 1999-2000 season through the 2008-2009 season. So any accolades, any stats, any championships, awards, anything that'll count for the decade, we will only count from those seasons, right? 1999-2000 through the 2008-2009 season. So if a player gets a championship in 2009-2010, unfortunately, that will not count, right? And obviously any year after that, and obviously years before. Right? So rookie of the year, if it's before, 1999-2000, it will not count, right? It will not count. So I think that is the first priority, right? Is to clearly identify the year. What do you guys think the first criteria should be? Do you guys want to do like accolades? Do you want to do we specify what accolades? Do we want to do championships, stats, eye tests? Like, how do you guys want to do these rankings? I think for me personally, right? Me personally, because we're talking about a ranking, right? Because we're talking about ranking, I would personally then value individual accolades a little bit more, because we have to rank these players against each other. So when I talk about individual accolades that I'll rank very highly, it'll be MVPs, all NBA teams, right? Because those are all the best players in the league, right? All-star games, defensive player of the years, right? Those would be scoring titles, assist titles, steals titles, rebounds titles. Those would be the things that I would value I mean, I think probably a championship I'd value over like a all defensive team. Defensive teams, I think I would probably value under. Championships, right? Finals MVPs will also count in those individual accolades. So that would be number one for me. Those championships, all NBA, all defensive teams. I think all defensive teams kind of go with like, I mean, I guess all-stars would be considered the best players in the league also. So to me, it would rank higher than an all defensive team in terms of value. Okay, so there's that. The eye test, I think, is also important. I think the eye test, also encompasses someone's skill, right? How skilled someone is, talent, all of those things. So let's write that down. Here, let's do this together, right? Let's do this together. Right? Criteria. Individual accolades, and I will list them out as well too. Individual accolades, MVP, all NBA teams. Actually. All NBA team. Why? I'll just say stat titles. All-Star game. Is there anything else that I'm missing? All-Star games. All-Star games. Second would be the championships, I guess, / maybe team success. 3, I'll put all defensive teams. I don't really think stats really matter all that much. I guess we should. I'll put an asterisk on this. But I think we should stats. And then eye test, skill, talent, skill, talent. This is just bothering me that I didn't capitalize it. So what do you guys think of this for as of right now for the start of our little criteria to create an all-decade ranking, right? So we have our parameters, 1999-2000 season through the 2008-2009 season. Any accolades, awards, championships, stats we only consider those years, right, to do these rankings, to do this ranking. Our criteria, we value at least as of right now, we're gonna value MVPs, individual accolades, the most, right? Because this is a ranking, right? Players against each other. MVPs, finals MVPs, all NBA teams, defensive player of the years. Statistic titles like scoring titles, assists, steals, rebounds, blocks, all of those. All-Star game MVPs and All-Star games. followed by championships / team success, followed by all defensive teams, statistics, which we'll see how we'll weigh that. I don't know. We'll figure that part out because I think some of that is already in, factored in the statistic titles. But and then we also have the eye test, the skill, the talent, right? If we're being honest, this probably helps out guards and wings a lot more because they have offensively, they're able to show a little bit more than that, but we'll see how this breaks down. So how do you guys feel about that criteria so far, right? So far. Let's throw out a couple of, obviously some names out there. Kobe Bryant. Let's see. Kobe, Shaq. Kevin Garnett. I'm just throwing out names out there and then we'll go through them. Kevin Garnett, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, I'm trying to think. Tracy McGrady. This will probably put the capital G. Yep. T-Mac, Vince Carter. It's funny because when it comes to all decade teams, because they're a thing, right? When it comes to all decade teams, when you are drafted in the middle of a decade, it's very possible that you have an extremely hard time, or not even possible, you have an extremely hard time getting into that all-decade team because you have guys that ideally you enter towards the end of a decade, so then your prime years, right, let's say 3 years before the next decade starts, then you get to be 10 years into your prime, pretty much, right? Through that whole decade, you get to put up your numbers, your stats, get your accolades, and all of that good stuff. But when you enter in the middle, sometimes, you could potentially put yourself in a spot where you don't make it in either of the decades that you play in, right? Even if you have a 12, 13-year career, depending on how that works out for you. But it's something to, I think it's just always something to consider when having some of these conversations. When you are born can factor into some of these, right? When you are born can absolutely help or hurt some of these conversations. Like take Michael Jordan, for example, right? 1984 draft, right? 84, 85, 85, 86, 86, 87, 87, 88, right? 88, 89. So all of those years. Here, let's take a look at Michael Jordan. What the hell? Wait, what the hell? All right, let's do this. So if you look at Michael Jordan's career, right? 84, 85. Because our parameters is what? 99, 2000, right? So all of these years right here, Yeah, so all of these years right here, 21 to 25, he got to really just go crazy and hone all of his skills. And then, 90 to 98 was just dominating. Was just dominating through those years. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like Michael Jordan, I mean, I guess he could end up being in the all-decade team because he was going fucking berserk. But at the same time, it's possible he gets left off because you have other players who are in their prime in those previous 5 years and continue to be in their prime in the later half of that decade. So, things like that happen, right? Things like that happen. Some names we have, let's just go through it again. Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwyane Wade, Paul Pierce. Am I missing any names? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Am I missing any other names? I'm really trying to think back right now. Are we missing any names from that time? I feel like this is it. I feel like this is why don't we do this? Why don't we ask let's do this. And as you can see, I've already, done a little bit of this before, but let's see. Let's do this. Actually, you know what? Let's add this. I don't know how they're going to value the stats, but let's see if there's any names that they'd have over there that we may or may have. Oh, I forgot Dirk's name. Amari. Are we blasted? So these are their honorable mentions. Oh, I guess if you're considering Finals MVP heavily, then for sure you would. then if you consider the Finals MVP heavily, then I guess in this scenario, like, look, if you put in this criteria, all right, so I asked if you factor in their stats through the decade higher than the eye test but lower than the defensive teams, would this list change? Most of it is still the same, but LeBron James obviously climbs into these rankings. Paul Pierce gets edged out. Honestly, I actually like this list right here pretty much. I actually like this list. You know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna copy this. Bam. Bam, bam. Got it. And then let's do the updated one as well too. And these are just top 10s. We will adjust these rankings accordingly. What the fuck did I just do? Am I blasted? Oh, here. No. And then this is the one that has Braun 7th. I'll take a look at this because I actually think I would probably have Braun higher. But I think this is a good start to have. All right, cool. Bam, look at us. Look at us. Look at us getting somewhere. Look at us getting somewhere. And we'll obviously add the other two players, right? So, according to ChatGPT, their top 10 is Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Kevin Garnett, Dirk, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, Dwyane Wade, Jason Kidd, and Paul Pierce. When you average when you factor in their stats, right? Tim Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, Kevin Garnett, Dirk, Allen Iverson, LeBron, Steve Nash, Dwyane Wade, and Jason Kidd. Now, let's start right here, right? Let's start right here. Because they had Allen Iverson, 1 MVP, 4 scoring title, 3-time steals leader, 7-time All-NBA player, 8-time All-Star, All-Star Game MVP, 2009 Finals appearance. Let me see what they had for LeBron James, MVP in 2009, 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA player. Wow. By that, if we're going to do it by that metric, right, where we are valuing Allen Iverson scoring titles and steals titles, was a 7-time All-NBA player, more All-NBAs than LeBron, 8-time All-Star, All-Star Game MVP. Yeah, by that metric, All-NBA in final 5 years. Yeah, that was really close. Let's see here. Dirk Nowitzki. Let's see. So let's see. Shaq and Kevin Garnett. They both have an MVP. One has a Defensive Player of the Year, but Shaq has 3 Finals MVPs. Both 8 All-NBA, 9 All-Defense, 10 All-Stars. Yeah, Shaq is ahead of him. Dirk. Let's see. Dirk and KG. Finals appearance, has an MVP. Kevin Garnett has a championship in this time. Dirk got him. I mean, KG got Dirk. By this metric, 7-time All-NBA, 8-time All-Star, has an All-Star Game MVP, also has a Finals appearance like Dirk, also has an MVP, but he has 4 scoring titles and 3-time steals leader. So shouldn't Allen Iverson, by that metric, be above Dirk? What are their numbers in that time period? 23.9, 8.7, 48, 38, 88 splits. Allen Iverson, 27, 6.2, 2.2. Ooh, that's kind of nice. 27, 6.2, 2.2 steals a game? That's nice. That's nice. So then if we do Dirk versus LeBron, 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA versus 7-time All-NBA, 8-time All-Stars, and both have an MVP. And I feel like the eye test for me would put LeBron over Dirk, though. All right. Let's keep looking at these lists. Let's keep looking at these lists. All right. So right now, our point of contention right now is Dirk versus AI. Because both of their numbers look great. Both have the accolades. Allen Iverson just got more individual statistical titles during that stretch, which do mean something. Right. You could say what you want about the steals, but 2.2 steals is 2.2 steals. Right? If you expected 180-pound Allen Iverson to try to stay in front of just stay in front of people and just concede the difference in height, he would have been sitting there doing nothing. So by all of these metrics, I think Allen Iverson would probably actually go above Dirk, which would put Dirk 6th. And then if that's the case, Dirk or Braun. And even though Dirk has LeBron on like the all NBAs and the All-Star games, I think the eye test, LeBron goes over Dirk. And then when you do that, right? When you do that, with Steve Nash not on this, you get to Steve Nash, 2-time MVP, 7-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA. All of a sudden, like Dirk starts dropping. All of a sudden, Dirk starts to drop. Is he under Steve Nash? I mean, what Steve Nash did to that Phoenix Suns team was unbelievable. Then we get to a Dwyane Wade. Wow, Dirk is dropping. So currently, right? And we haven't Tim, Kobe, Shaq, KG, AI, Bron, Nash, Dirk. Is that what it, and I gotta do, we gotta have a conversation about this, but 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, Dirk just dropped to 8. He went from 5th to 8th. I think Bron deserves to be 1 2 3 4 5, I think 6th. You could argue LeBron should be a little bit lower, but I think 6th is a pretty good spot for him. Considering what he did from the 03-04 season, right? So he had a shortened decade compared to everyone else. The fact that him and Dwyane Wade are even on this list, they're in this conversation, I think says a lot. I wonder if Carmelo Anthony could end up in this conversation as well too. 2008, 9. 1, 2, 3 All NBA appearances for Melo. 1, 2 All-Star games. 2 All-Star games? Am I blasted? Is that fake? Okay. I like this. I like where we're at so far. I just want to handle the bottom part of the list, and then I think it'll be easier to talk about everything else. Jason Kidd, 5-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Defense, 9-time All-Star, 5-time assist leader. Steve Nash was... How many times did Steve Nash win the assist title? Five-time assist champ. Jason Kidd was also a 5-time assist champ, but I think Steve Nash's assist champs came... Did they split the fucking decade? Is that what happened? Did they just half the decade? How come that's not on here? But both 5-time assist leaders, Steve Nash, Dirk. I think Jason Kidd goes right. Dwyane Wade has that finals MVP, a scoring title, 5-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-Defense, and a chip. Oh, this is so difficult. Jason Kidd carried the fuck out of that New Jersey Nets team to those 2 titles, man. I know he ended up not getting it, but that is for sure worth something. But that Dwyane Wade 06 was fucking crazy, man. Dirk. Wade. Kidd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my God. Are there any names on here that we are missing right now? All right, let's take a look at the honorable mentions from ChatGPT one more time. Honorable mention T-Mac. LeBron is already in there. Paul Pierce is also an honorable mention. Oh, he has the Finals MVP, 5-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA. That's worth something. Yao Ming, an honorable mention. What was Yao Ming's stats looking like? Or what was his... How many All-NBA teams and stuff did Yao Ming make? 5-time All-Star, 8-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA player. In 8 years. I mean, all of his All-NBAs came in that stretch. 8-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA player. All right. I think for me, and this is my shit. I think this is Mac and then Pierce. I think this is my 12. I think this is my top 12 all decade. Oh. Sorry, Tim. Listen. Tim should be the all decade. The 2000s, this should not even be. This is just all bias, right? Let's give these guys at the top their credit. Tim Duncan, who should be number 1, he's number 2. Should be number 1. 2-time, 2 MVPs, 2002 and 2003. So he went back to back. 3 titles, 3 Finals MVPs. No, that can't be right. He swept this shit. See, that's why some of these are just not accurate. Hold on. 99, 2000 to 08, 09. Right? Yeah, he made all NBA 10 out of 10 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Made all NBA all 10 years. All defense, all 10 years, 10-time All-Star. He literally swept the entire decade, plus the MVPs, plus the championships, right? So he should be number one. Should be. My number one is the Bean. Kobe, Bean, Bryant. One MVP in this stretch, one Finals MVP. See, like this gotta be 4 All NBA. Like, that's wrong. Like, that's gotta be wrong. That's gotta be wrong, right? All NBA every year. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. All NBA every year, right? All defense 9 out of those 10 years, right? Was an all-star in all of those years, right? So the only thing that he missed was one defensive team through that decade. Otherwise, he would have swept it like Tim Duncan. Obviously, Tim Duncan has one more MVP than him, 2 more Finals MVPs than him at this point, through this stretch. But 3 chips to 4 for Kobe. Kobe obviously had that arc of, he started the decade as the sidekick to Shaquille O'Neal. All of that happened. Had to push Shaq out because he needed to cement his legacy, and the only way to do that was to win without Shaq. Dealt with his problems off the court. Put up stats like crazy, basically saying this is what I would have done if it wasn't for Shaq. Worked himself back to a title. So there is value to being at the top, falling and rising back up to the top, to me. And I think also, just when you do the eye test, when it comes to Kobe's scoring ability and just how he's able to do things and just his skill, Kobe's number one. Tim should be number one, but Kobe's number one to me. Tim is 2. Tulip plays was good, man. We're doing my all decade team, and I'm trying to be sort of like our conversation the other day with the W. I'm trying to be, I wrote out my criteria, right? I wrote out the criteria so we can have something to go off of, so you guys can actually critique some of the things that I have. But so far, this is what I got. Kobe, Tim, let's go over Shaq's accolades through this time. Shaq through the decade, 1 MVP, 3 Finals MVPs, 8 All-NBA. Actually, I feel like some of these have been hella inaccurate, so let me just look at it myself. 99, 2000 to 08, 09. So through this stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 All NBAs. 8 All NBAs. 1, 2, 3 All Defensive Teams. Was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-time All-Star. So, Shaq is obviously did what he did. But that's why he is, he's just a little bit behind Kobe. He obviously has the 3 finals MVPs, but you know, Kobe also has the scoring titles. He has more All-Stars, more all defensive selections, more all NBA. He's just, as an individual, you know, especially after Shaq had left, Kobe was killing. After Shaq, we have Kevin Garnett. Let's take a look at his accolades through that decade. An MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time All-Star, 9-time All-Defense, 10-time All-Star, and a champion. So, you know, Kevin Garnett was really that dude. And then, as you could see from here, Dirk actually significantly dropped when I was going through it. After Kevin Garnett, I have Allen Iverson, right? Allen Iverson through that stretch. MVP, 4 scoring titles, 3 steals leaders, 7 All-NBAs, 8 All-Stars, All-Star Game MVP, his 2001 Finals appearance where he took on the mighty Lakers by himself with that terrible Sixers squad. But you know, that Allen Iverson was unbelievable. Why is Tim over Kobe for you through the 2000s? So Tim is not over Kobe for me. I personally, because of the eye test. So if you look at my criteria, right? I put an asterisk on stats because I think that the stats are already in these titles. But so the criteria, individual accolades like MVPs, finals MVPs, all NBA teams, defensive player of the years, statistical titles like scoring, rebounds, assists, steals, those are weighed heavily. All-Star Game MVPs and All-Star Games, followed by championships, followed by all defensive teams, and then the eye test. When you look at the accolades for Tim Duncan versus Kobe Bryant, right? Tim Duncan, this is wrong from ChatGPT, by the way, because Tim Duncan from the 1999-2000 through the 2008-2009 season, those are our parameters. Tim Duncan swept the entire decade, right? This is wrong here. I'll pull it up over here for you guys so you can see it. But he swept this decade. 10 All-Stars, 10 All-NBA teams, 10 All-Defensive teams. He swept all 3 of them compared to Kobe, who missed 1 All-Defensive team. Let's double check right here. Through this stretch, right here, Kobe missed an All-Defensive team selection. And then in that same stretch as well, too, Tim Duncan had the 1 MVP to the 2 MVPs to Kobe's 1 MVP, right? So, based on those accolades, I believe that Tim Duncan should be above Kobe Bryant. But when I do the eye test and when the bias kicks in, if we're being honest, Kobe to me is over Tim. Right? Although I would not be mad if someone has Tim Duncan over Kobe Bryant in that decade, because the sustained success that Tim Duncan had, some people value that. I personally value Kobe going through the first championships with Shaq, that turmoil with the team, killing the whole league, and then having to come back to the top. I value that for me personally. That's why Kobe goes on top. But if you look at just, you know, the stats, the accolades, the output through that decade with no bias, Tim Duncan should be above Kobe Bryant if we're being real. Tim gets the dynasty tax from me. He never played with scrubs his whole career. In that decade, he won 3 chips to Kobe's 4-2. No, I understand that, but that's also not Tim's fault, right? His production didn't suffer from being around great players, right? So if you think about all of those things, technically Tim should be above, but when the bias kicks in, the eye test, right? And the eye test really is unfair for guards compared to bigs, because the guards, they get to have the flashy plays that we all love. So let's be honest, that kind of, in scenarios, especially in this one, puts Kobe over Tim, but it's really close. Like it's super, super close. And then we have Tim. Shaq comes after that. KG, AI, Bron, Nash. And really, you could have Nash above these guys, in my opinion, above Bron, in my opinion. I think Bron could be lower, right? Bron could be like 7, 8, 9, 10, realistically, because he came in the middle of the of the decade, right? Nash, Dirk, and then we have Wade, Kidd, T-Mac, Pierce would be my top 12 for the decade. And again, the decade is from the 1999-2000 season through the 2008-2009 season. Why Nash over Wade? Playoffs matter. Well, because playoffs matter for sure. But in 2 seasons, those 2 MVPs are cool. I understand that Tulip plays, but I for me personally, I can't discount you being called the MVP over 82 games. Right? To me, those matter. Like if Wade had 1 MVP to Steve Nash's 2 MVPs, I think that puts him over Steve Nash. But I don't think you could discount 2 MVPs in a league that had, regardless of how you feel about it, he still got it in a league that had Kobe, Shaq, Garnett, LeBron, Dirk. Like look at all of these names, and he was able to get 2 MVPs in the middle of that. If we look at the Phoenix Suns, right? If we look at the Phoenix Suns, when did he? So he literally, the year he joined, he was MVP, right? 62-20. They were 29-53. 29-53. To 62-20. And then the other part in it too, right? Was it here? I believe. He also had. What the fuck just happened? 99, 2000. I feel like I'm having a fucking. He also had 3 assist titles in this stretch. 3 assist titles in this stretch. To 1 scoring title for Dwyane Wade. 1 scoring title for Dwyane Wade. More All-NBA selections. More All-Star games. That's just that's just how, what I think personally. Lear, we could pull up Dwyane Wade stats too. 8 to 9 to 8-9. Right? So over this stretch, he got All-Star game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 All-Star games to 1, 2, 3, 4 All-NBA teams and 2 All-Defensive teams. 2 MVPs are cool. Plus Wade stats are way better. He carried his team to a chip was 10 times the defender to, I mean, he also had, Shaq on that team. Let's just call that what it is. Shaq obviously wasn't 2000 Shaq, right? 99, 2000 Shaq, but Shaq at that point was still, he was still forcing people to play him and defend him, right? And it freed up Dwyane Wade to slash and cut the way that he did. Wade was that guy for sure, but like I said, like I was talking about earlier, when you come into the middle of a decade and you're just not able to put up as much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all-NBA teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all-star teams, 2 MVPs with 3 assist championships. That was a Shaq a year after they went, like he was just in the finals the year before. He was definitely declining, and he definitely carried Shaq, right? I'm not saying he didn't, but that was just, that was just the fact of it. I weigh, and the reason I weigh the MVP very heavily is that's against the entire field. Right? When you have a statistical title, that's against the entire field. Right? That's against the entire league. His rival was Kobe for his position, though. Wait, what? Nash had no point guard comp close. What do you mean? Jason Kidd, Chris Paul had come in. There were definitely some point guard comps. Gilbert Arenas was starting the scoring point guard trend. Kobe wasn't even like in terms of like all NBAs, right? You could still fight for 2-3, right? And like I said, that when you are a player, unfortunately, when you're born, can help or hurt you in some of these convos, right? Fuck, my dog's here. No. I'm not saying Kid is in the same tier to Kobe. But you're saying, wait, hold on. What do you mean by the comp? I'm confused what you mean by that. There was definitely a competition between point guards. That's what I was trying to say. Right? It wasn't like there was a competition between who the best point guard was, right? There was real competition in that time. I'm confused as to what you're saying. Yeah, for all NBA. Yeah, they're not Kobe, but you still had Jason Kidd, Chris Paul at that. Like you were competing for some real great point guards still. Like Jason Kidd is not chump in terms of point guards, and Jason Kidd is still an all-time great. But let me see. So here, let me ask you this. Where do you think? So where do you think Wade? Where do you think Wade should? You think Wade should be above Dirk, or above Nash? Do you think Nash shouldn't be above Dirk? I think these are good conversations. I think these are good combos. I like this 6. I don't know about you, but I like this 6 right here. I like this 6 personally. I like this 6. I think the bottom 6 definitely could be debated for sure. Could Wade go up higher? Let me see. Also, like, I think sometimes we just look at 9.2 assists and just like Wade above both. Dirk in that time. 1 MVP, 7 All-NBA, 8 All-Stars to Steve Nash's 2 MVPs, 7 All-Stars, 6 All-NBAs. Wade, Nash, Dirk. Dirk didn't even win the chip that decade. He was still seen as soft. But he still got an MVP. Went to the finals. Was a 7-time All-NBA player and an 8-time All-Star. Still, right. Like I said, I just want us to be able to talk about things that we could actually measure, Nash, Wade. Let me try to picture this. Listen, and by the way, too, I want this to be clear, right? I want this to listen. I want you to hear me clear this. I want this to be clear. Dwyane Wade is a better basketball player than Steve Nash. I'm not don't get me wrong, right? I would take Dwyane Wade over Steve Nash. But when we're ranking, their accolades and stuff are a part of it. I just don't think you could discount the MVPs. Here, let me see. Where should we move? So do you think at least Wade should be above Dirk, maybe? Do we move Wade for Dirk? Do we put Wade? Do we at least do this? Do we at least do this? What you think? Does this look a little bit better? I feel like this is really a toss up. I do like this convo between Nash and Wade because Wade cooked Dirk in the finals. I guess you have an MVP to a finals MVP, right? I guess that in a way kind of cancels itself out. And then, the lack of, if you compare all NBA selections, Wade had almost the same amount, but also had the all defensive selections, right? So, I actually like that. Like I said, I do value Nash's MVP a lot. And then I guess you get Wade's defense, and obviously Nash was never a defender, but you have all of these assist titles still. That I think this is a toss up. I think this is very close. What do we think about Dirk, Kidd? Is there any other names that we could think of that could potentially be on this list? What was an Amari Stoudemire? What were his numbers looking like? He also came in 02, 03. A lot of injury years for Amari, though, in some of these. Also, Wade only came in 2004, or he'd have more selection. Yeah, but that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about, right? Like LeBron. Obviously, we know what LeBron turned into. Had LeBron came in the year 99, 2000, or 2000, 2001, he would probably be near the top of this all-decade list, right? Yeah, I'm trying to think of some more names. Ray Allen. See what his numbers was looking like. I do think the top 10. We can look at it again right here. Kobe, Tim, Shaq, KG, AI, Bron, Nash, Wade, Dirk, Kidd is a great top 10 for me. And then I think you follow that up. You get with Tracy McGrady and a Paul Pierce. Um, just because through those, through the All NBAs, the scoring titles that T-Mac had compared to Paul Pierce, in my opinion. And then obviously what bridges the gap between all of those is the Finals MVP that Paul Pierce has, right? Let's take a look at this actually. And I want to look at T-Mac's numbers as well too, and his accolades. Dog, what is the big ass fucking 99 2000 08 09? So he had his Finals MVP over here. 1 2 3 4 All NBA selections. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 All Stars. Compared to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 All NBA selections. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 All Stars. 2 scoring titles in that stretch as well too. I didn't even know he had a most improved, but a most improved in that time. And then obviously Paul Pierce's Finals MVP. Dwight Howard is a great honorable mention. That's a great pull. That's a great name you just pulled out. Dwight Howard is a great honorable mention as well. Let's look up his numbers. And I'll pull up. Here, I'm pulling up race stats right now. What I wanted to do differently, because I've seen people doing these rankings, I wanted us to be able to look through these together, right? I wanted us to be able to have the conversation and to actually look through these things together, because I think there is a ton of value in that. Let's look at this stretch for 08, 09. Let's look at this stretch for Ray Allen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 All-Stars in this stretch. 1, 2 All-NBA selections. Compared to Paul Pierce in this time, 1, 2, 3 All-NBA selections. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 All-NBA selections. And then obviously has the Finals MVP with Ray Allen over on the same team. So I think the All-NBA selections plus the Finals MVP to me is what would push Paul Pierce above Ray Allen. And then I want to take a look at Dwight Howard in this stretch. See, this is not even fair. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons for him. In this stretch, he has a Defensive Player of the Year. 1, 2, 3 All NBAs. 2 All Defensive Teams. 3 All Stars. I mean, in a 5-year span, that's a lot to do in a short span. In a short span. How many rebounding titles does he have? 2-time was that during this stretch? 1 block title. 2 rebounding titles in this stretch. I mean, he was just he was everything. He was everything. Honorable mention, but I think unfortunately just a little bit in terms of this stretch, I think he just falls a little bit short. I think he just falls a little bit short in this stretch in terms of sustained dominance over a long period of time. I would personally give it to Mac and Paul Pierce. And again, like I said over here, right? All NBA teams selections to me, those are 3 teams, 5 players on each team, right? So an all NBA team are the best 15 players in the league. It's even harder to get into than an all-star game, which is also voting, right? Like fan voting is a part of that. Yeah, too late for the decade. Yeah, like that's one of those unfortunate things where, you know, you might not make it because of that. Let's take a look. Actually, let's take a look at. I'm curious as to where Chris Paul's what his stats would look like, because he came in 05, 06, right? So that's 4 years during that stretch. Two All-NBAs, 2 All-Defensive teams, 2 All-Stars, and a Rookie of the Year through those 4 years. So he obviously doesn't make the decade. Let's see if he might make the following year. 18, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all-stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all defense, all NBAs, 7 all defensive teams. If we look at it, he probably makes this. How many steals championships did this fool have? 6 steals. like these numbers are insane. These numbers are insane. But you see, he misses the cut. When he could have probably made it. Where's the Dwight Howard one? Let's see if he makes the following cut. 9, 10 to 18, 19. See, like from 2014, 15, once those Houston days kicked in, Dwight Howard was just he was not himself at all. So it's weird times. But again, I'm pretty comfortable with this being the top 12 players of the 2000s. Again, Kobe Bryant, number 1. Here, let's put the numbers here. Yeah, I was thinking about Yao Ming too. Honorable mention. He was just too hurt, and it's just some of the accolades just didn't line up, unfortunately. But I will tell you guys in just 1 second what we are doing with these. Steve Nash, Dwyane Wade, Dirk, Jason Kidd, and Paul. I'm actually pretty comfortable with this. All right, so these are our top 12 players from the 2000s. This is the criteria that we use here. I'm gonna copy all of this. Copy. Right? So this was the criteria. This is the list that we came up with. And so this is what we're going to do, right? This is where it gets fun. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to take these 12 players, right? On Friday, we are going to do the all decade for 2010, right? On Friday, we are going to do the same thing, but through the 2010s. So 2009, 2010 through the 2018-19 season. We're going to talk about what the top 12 players are from that decade. And then once we have these two top 12 teams, what we are going to do starting next week, we're going to do this Tuesday and Thursday night. We are going to simulate these games in a 7-game series between the 2010 team versus the 2000s team. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to build these all-decade teams, and then we are going to put them against each other on 2K, which we will watch together next Tuesday and Thursday night. So that's how we are going to do it. We will determine which decade has the better players. Bron number 1 for the 2010s for sure. Facts. Big facts. Big facts. He is for sure number 1 he's for sure going to be number 1 for the decade. But we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes Friday. Maybe we'll do the rest of these decades and have some 90s versus. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still messing with the idea, but I wanted to start with the 2000s and 2010s. I think we are going about this the right way. I'm trying to be transparent with this criteria so you guys can critique the criteria, right? And we can. You could critique the list accordingly, right? With numbers and stats and so on and so forth. But that was fun, man. That was fun. I think genuinely I'm really missing basketball. So, between looking at these old games and the W, it's what's keeping me right now. but that's my list, man. That's my all-time list. I can't wait to simulate this game, and we'll watch it together. We'll watch it together, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll get some votes. We'll see who we think is the best team, and then we'll go about that, man. But for now, that's gonna do it for me, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me as always. Thank you, Tulip Plays W List. Thank you, Tulip Plays, for coming and hanging out, man. There's a lot of hella good conversations in that. You brought up a lot of great points. Derpy, shout out to you. Bruce, shout out to you. Elijah as well too. Before I get out of here, man, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. We are trying to take this to the moon, as you already know, man. But thank you so much. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. I'll see y'all on Friday so we can do another list. See y'all later, man.